channel, I believe that one of the three midfielders on the thumbnail of this video will be the midfield partner for Moises Caicedo this season. Enzo Fernandez, Adam Wharton and Alex Scott. There's a lot of stories that are going around at the moment about what's going to happen. Xabi Alonso has spoken today about Enzo Fernandez, and if you watch that press conference and you know anything about Lexis and the English language and the way people say things, it doesn't sound convincing, in my opinion. Xabi Alonso says Enzo Fernandez is a Chelsea player. He's preparing and training well for Monday. That was never in any doubt. But the question is, who is going to sign for Man City? I don't think this is necessarily all about who are Chelsea going to get, because I think Chelsea at the moment is kind of cat and mouse. Are Man City ever going to spend the money that Chelsea deem necessary to get Enzo Fernandez to go? So I want to debate and look through what is happening at the moment, what the reports are suggesting. There are some big journalists talking about things, so we can try and piece things together. We can try and come up with the scenarios. There's lots of other Chelsea news to go through in this video as well, so lock yourselves in. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you haven't already, please do go and give me a follow on Spotify. The first Spotify-only video, it's also going on Apple Podcasts, but the first video is going out tomorrow, which is not going to be on YouTube. So make sure you're following there so you don't miss anything. And if you could, please do give me a 5-star review. It helps grow the page. But let's begin with Ben Jacobs and his latest report here. Manchester City have several midfield options and are expected to sign 2 between now and the end of the window. Man City prepared to bid for Enzo Fernandez despite Chelsea's deadline passing. So they're still interested, clearly. They've not walked away from this. Advanced talks with Lille over Ayoub Bouadi. It's been going on for a while too. An inquiry made on Adam Wharton, as revealed on TalkSport last week. Alexis McAllister appreciated, but Liverpool have no plans to lose him this late in the window. Manu Kone also under consideration. Understand City also made an approach for Alex Scott last month. Bournemouth have already turned down a £64 million bid from Chelsea. David Ornstein also said this. Man City inquired to Palace about Wharton, but were told the 22-year-old midfielder not available this summer. England international among candidates on Man City recruitment list, but Palace have no intention of selling before the deadline. So this is important because Chelsea have been in contact with Crystal Palace all summer. We signed Maxence Lacroix. We have been speaking about Disasi. We've been speaking about various other players too. Now, Adam Wharton is a player that Chelsea have been tracking for a while. We know that Chelsea have wanted Wharton in the past, even when he was playing at Blackburn Rovers. So if Man City have been told that Adam Wharton isn't available this summer, then surely that means it's the same for Chelsea this summer as well, right? Crystal Palace at this point, they've got Europa League this season. They've got a new manager coming through. Crystal Palace don't want to be in the position that Chelsea tried to avoid with this Enzo Fernandez situation. That's why we put a deadline on it. Now, I think Crystal Palace, if they're saying to Man City, no, Wharton's not for sale, then I don't see why this would be any different for Chelsea, to be quite honest with you. So that brings us back to the same conversation. Enzo Fernandez to Manchester City. We've already mentioned all of the money that they're going to bring in from the sales to Tottenham. Marmoush, Savio. These guys are moving on. And the money that they're going to make from that is absolutely outrageous. So if Enzo Maresca wants Enzo Fernandez, which we absolutely know that he does, then I see Man City just throwing the bag at Enzo Fernandez, which then makes us beg the question. If this is true, that Wharton isn't available this summer, is it the same for Chelsea? We know that Bedad Egbali and the Palace chairman had a meeting. I believe it was in New York over the summer, but that was clearly to secure the signature of Maxence Lacroix. Disasi to Crystal Palace seems to also be moving in a positive direction for a loan, not for a buy, which is slightly frustrating. But it is what it is, to be expected at this point. So let's also hear what Xabi Alonso had to say in his press conference today about Enzo. Xabi Alonso has refused to rule out the possibility of Enzo leaving Chelsea before the close of this summer's transfer window. And this is what Xabi Alonso said. Enzo is a Chelsea player. He's a top player. The Chelsea manager said on Thursday he's training really well since he started with the team, very integrated. We are happy with him and he's getting ready for Monday. Asked if Enzo Fernandez had voiced a desire to stay at Chelsea, Alonso replied, he's training well with a good attitude, and that's what we want. He's trying to do his best to prepare for kickoff of the Premier League. So there is no definitive there from Xabi Alonso saying Enzo Fernandez has given him his word. He's not going to leave Chelsea. It's very clear from everything that we're seeing right now. People might say it's performative, but I don't believe it is. I think Enzo Fernandez knows there's a price on his head, and if that price comes in, Chelsea will let him go. My big concern here is what do we do about replacing him? Alex Scott from Bournemouth, as soon as they know...
We feel ready. We've prepared the whole position these 6 weeks with some players from the first day, other ones coming later, but the desire, the ambition, the hunger to start the Premier League is already in the building, in each training, and looking forward to it.
João Pedro is set to sign a new contract. He's got the number 9 shirt now as well. Just how important is he for you?
Yeah, we talk a lot with João because he's not just a great player. He has a great personality, and I think that his development as a great player and as a leader is very noticeable in every day, in each game. So he has this focus and this desire to have a great season, scoring goals but helping the team, and I'm very happy. I'm very impressed with his personality as well, and now we need to help him reaching his goals.
Right, let's cut through the noise on this one. I've watched Enzo Fernandez since he arrived in England, and I'll tell you something, when a midfielder of that caliber starts appearing on Pep Guardiola's radar, it's never a throwaway rumor. It's a pattern, and today, that pattern has a number attached to it. Good evening. Sky Sports understands Manchester City have identified Enzo Fernandez as a priority target ahead of the next transfer window, with initial internal discussions already taking place at board level regarding a potential offer for the Chelsea midfielder. Sources close to the club describe this as part of a wider recruitment strategy targeting central midfielders capable of controlling tempo in both domestic and European fixtures. Fernandez, who joined Chelsea in a club record deal back in January 2023, has continued to be central to their setup, but City's interest, we're told, stems from a specific tactical requirement identified by the coaching staff. What's important here is the framing. This isn't a speculative approach. Multiple contacts within the game have indicated that City's recruitment department has been monitoring Fernandez's data and physical output across the last 18 months, and the conclusion drawn internally is that he fits the exact midfield profile they've been searching for. Chelsea, for their part, have given no indication they're willing to sanction a sale. Fernandez remains contracted until 2032, and the club's stance publicly has always been that key players of his stature are not for negotiation. But as we've seen before in this league, contract length doesn't always deter serious interest, it just changes the number required to start a conversation.